Hey guys, well today I want to show you a couple tips for flipping your flipbooks. I'm also going to show you this flipbook, which nobody has seen yet. I've had some questions from people asking for tips on how to make your flipbooks flip a little bit smoother. So I'm going to kind of show you some things that I do when I flip my flipbooks. So when you flip a flipbook, I think, initially the instinct is to just kind of roll your thumb like that. And as you get to the end, the pages just kind of skip really bad. So the trick is you always want to be flipping the paper from the very tip of your thumb, and that gives you the most control. So when I was a kid, I just kind of started doing this naturally, and I don't know, it's just been something that has worked well for me, but I just kind of rock my thumb a bit, sort of walk it down the paper as I need to. And as you practice this, you'll find that you can keep your flipping speed pretty consistent even as you're sort of rocking your thumb and walking it down the edge like that. But that just helps you maintain a lot more control as long as you can kind of keep your thumb on the edge like that. Some people find that they can flip very smoothly just by sliding their thumb right down the paper. I can do this sometimes it doesn't work so well, and it tends to skip more when I do that. So I naturally have just a lot more control when I sort of do that sort of movement with my thumb. One thing that can also happen as you're flipping your flipbook is that, everything's looking pretty smooth at the beginning, and then you get to the end, and it's at the end where you start like skipping pages, right? So to deal with that, there's a couple things you can do. One is you just can add a bunch of blank pages at the end, and you'll find that helps. You can also just sort of extend out your last pose. You can just hold it for several pages, and that way when you get to the end of your flipbook, you've got several pages where the character or whatever is holding the same pose, and so it doesn't matter too much if you're skipping a few pages there at the very end. And something else to think about is how thick the paper is that you're using. But I really like thicker paper, and that's like what I use and what I have in my kit is this like thicker flipbook paper. Something else I like about using thicker paper is that the paper flips faster, meaning that when you actually flip a page, it moves, from here to there really fast. And so that helps everything just look a bit cleaner as well. Like there, you can hardly even see the page moving. Whereas if you're using thinner paper, like a thin sheet little notebook or something like that, it's not as easy to get the paper to just sort of snap over. So that's why I like to use thicker paper. One other thing that also obviously helps is to make sure your paper is lined up very evenly at the end before you put your screws in and tighten them down. The more even that you can keep your page down here, the more that's going to help you to not be skipping pages as you flip. And last but not least, this is a flipbook that I started forever ago, and I just decided to just go ahead and finish it today. It's just a silly little thing, but do that one more time. See, the problem was why I didn't finish it originally. It got to this point right here, and I was like, oh man, he looks like flying poop. I was like, never mind, I'm not going to finish it. But today I was like, oh, you know what? I think I could salvage it actually. I could just make it feel like it's just sort of a stretch, and then just kind of bounces up into it a little bit. So I think I was able to kind of save it. Although perhaps now he just more looks like a little flying meatball, so whatever. So that's it for today. Just wanted to give you guys those flipping tips. I hope that helps a little bit as you make your own flipbooks. I've got some other videos that are in the works. One of my next videos coming out is going to be a studio tour. A lot of you guys in my last video noticed that I'm in a new space, so I'm excited to tell you guys all about that and show you around. Leave any comments or questions below. Stay creative. That's it for this video.